Eazy-E or Nipsey Hussle?
Eazy-E or Nipsey Hussle.
That's a shot.
Nipsey Hussle.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because look, because Nipsey, because Eazy NWA and Compton, he inspired, but like Nipsey was my nigga.
Right.
So it's like it's different. It's like it's your brother. I only seen Eazy and met him at like he used to come to the hood in Compton when I was young and give kids toys and shit. When I was like 13, 14, you would see Eazy, but you know, I think I might have got a fire truck from the nigga or something. It's like I be on some like, let me do what's right for hip hop. That's why I never tried to sign Kendrick. I never told Top Dog, yo, let me get Kendrick.
But you gave him opportunities.
Of course I fucking did.
Right.
Nipsey and Kendrick.
Bro, I took Nipsey and Kendrick on the tour, bro. We did that, but it was all love.
You was doing OG shit.
Yeah, no, we show love, bro. Wack was like, yo, you know, Nipsey, you know how many, hey, Big U, and everybody know who Big U is if you don't.
He been here.
Yeah, Big U knows, like, bro, I call fades behind that. Like,
fades
nigga,
behind what?
Taking Crips on a tour where I'm a blood. Nigga, what do you mean? My own homies. I lost half of the gang like that. Niggas split up between me and my brother. Crazy. I'm beefing with my brother like Nino G Money. Niggas could have died in that. He alive with, you know, his family, and I'm alive over here, and that's still my brother, but like we don't speak. That all Big Face Hunted, that's a name in hip hop niggas should know, and they should know. That nigga was the Oracle.
You said that earlier.
Like I said earlier, and I love my brother, and at the same time I don't. And it's weird, but that's my family dynamic. It's like you can't speak on him, but I can, type shit. Like you can't fuck with my brother, but I can. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, when you brought Nip and Kendrick on tour, was it a gang thing that was people was saying, what you doing, gang?
Yeah, at that point, it wasn't like you couldn't do that. It wasn't as cool. It's not. It's still not cool, but it's like it's cooler now because the world is unified on some. It's colors, but it's not like niggas. You got Crips wearing a lot of red, but you know back then it was you don't wear that, you don't wear that. But like, yeah, I took them niggas on tour. And like I said, it was bull with Top Dog and Kendrick and J-Rock and all those niggas, Dave Free and all those niggas, because Tommy Tom.
What are they?
It's Nickerson Gardens.
Nickerson Gardens.
Yeah, it's projects. It's straight bloods. Okay. You know, I'm a Compton Pyru. So is YG, and like it's just it's real weird. The LA gang culture is hard to understand if a nigga don't sit there and break it down for you.
Right.
But like the '60s is like them niggas right there, Crenshaw and Slauson. It's they Crips, and it's like they them niggas. And so for me to, at the height of my career, I'm still at the height of my career, but at that point, hated and loved it those days. To bring some Crips on stage, nigga, when I just told the world, like, it was just nothing but red rags.
Not just any Crips.
Any Crips,
this
the 60s
probably the
Crips.
biggest Crip gang there is.
Yeah.
I'm asking.
I'm not knocking on niggas' door asking how many, like, doing the census on how many Crips it is. But it is definitely, if not the biggest, it's second. Right. I don't know. Right. Like, I don't know cryptistics or how that go.
That was it.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. But what I'm saying is that we know what the 60s Crips is. We know what we know, like, what Big U is. We know what Jaws is. We know what Nip was and what he still is to this day, legacy-wise. It was not a wise decision to do that, but me and Wack, we did it because it was bigger than that. I felt like it was bigger than that. I felt like this nigga, I met Nipsey on Crenshaw and Slauson. Nigga, he was selling incense. Which
is, for lack of a better term, I'm from New York, so when you say Crenshaw and Slauson, is that a blood hood? Is that
it's 60s Crip.
That's 60s Crip.
And so Nip, when I first met Nip, he was selling incense with a small little curl, you know what I'm saying? But he was cripping. Selling incense. I would always get off, you don't know the 105 freeway, it goes from Compton to like LAX, right? Okay. I would always get off the 105 on Crenshaw, because Crenshaw, I go back to Boys in the Hood, like, what you tripping on, Ferris? Like, Crenshaw. I would take Crenshaw. I would take Crenshaw all the way down to Melrose because I had a brand new Range Rover. Like I saw Andre 3000 have a Range Rover. I wanted that. So I got a brand new Range Rover. I always get off the 105 freeway on Crenshaw, take Crenshaw the long way to Melrose because what you going to see on Crenshaw? Bitches. I wanted everybody to see gang riding through the city. For some reason, I always get caught up on Crenshaw and Slauson at the light, behind the Altima, behind the Honda. I'm always caught. I always keep the gun on my lap too because like I'm out of bounds. You know what I'm saying? If you know gang culture, out of bounds. But Nip would always have these incense. One day, nigga had no incense. And usually it'd be him and the incense, and then like just him. This day, no incense and a gang of more Crips with him too. The niggas start pulling something out his hoodie. I start grabbing for the gun. I'm stuck at a light behind.
Nip is pulling something.
When you say
he pulling something from his hoodie.
They flagging?
Oh, they flagging. They blew up.
And he knows,
It's Jay Stone. It's Ren Paul, and it's a few other niggas who I can't remember their faces to match it with the names. But Nip is in front. They coming at this motherfucking Range Rover, and I'm like grabbing my gun, and like. Once he get what he getting out of the hoodie, it's not a gun, it's a CD. I'm like, shit, nigga.
Are you by yourself?
Dolo, always ride Dolo. But anyway, Nip pull out a CD. He like, nigga, Chuck, nigga, you always come through. And you know, this time I'm doing music. Me and my brother, we doing music. He gave me the CD. I made sure I made his numbers on the motherfucker.
You talking about Sam, his brother?
Sam.
Yep.
He gave me the CD. I put it in the car. I bumped it on the way to Melrose to the barbershop. And then I like that shit.
This is a young Nip.
Yeah, it's a young Nip. Right. So me and WACK, we
But
just...
describe that for a second. I apologize because us being from New York, right?
Yeah.
So explain to us how is a blood could even like a Crips music. How does that work?
It don't work like that unless the music is pulling on your heartstrings. Because then it becomes not blood, not Crip. It just becomes like great music. And that's what Nip sounded like. I was like, this nigga kind of look like Snoop, but he's slinging. He rapping how I would rap if I wasn't Nas and Biggie and Jay-Z influenced. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I would have been.
That's crazy.
And by all means, I can still do that and go that lane if I want to. As I told you, I studied hip hop the way that I studied. That's why so many name drops. Cause nigga, these are the niggas that like inspire me. But yeah, man, I met Nip on Crenshaw and Slauson. I went to the studio and WACK. I told WACK that like Nipsey just gave me this shit, and then WACK was like, I know I'll fuck with Big U. Like, let's bring him to the studio. And then we did that night. We did They Roll. So
WACK said he fuck with Big U. So
he fuck with Big U. I fuck with Nipsey. Now let's tie it in all together, bring the studio, and let's do a few records and let Nip have them. And we did that, and I always told Nip, like, nigga, you got it, you next. I went on the radio like I always do. I told niggas Nip was coming. I did the same thing with Kendrick, because I always try to put on for my city.
No interest that you had in it.
Nigga, I never like signed a nigga to no paperwork. I was too busy, doing what I was doing. I didn't want to have a nigga's career in my hands. I don't want to Birdman niggas and have Wayne mad at me later. Like, nah, I just want to do game, but I want to point you in the right direction. So I told, I did what I did for Top. Top will tell you, Kendrick, all them niggas, J-Rock, I got on J-Rock's song, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out J-Rock.
Help, facilitate getting Wayne on it. And we was just like a clique. Like, I just felt like that's what you should do for niggas around your way. So I always been a nigga to put niggas on. Always been a nigga to reach out when I see you in the city and extend, the olive branch so like niggas don't try to play you.
I felt like Nipsey's a legend.
No, listen, see, y'all keep changing it. They asked me about music. Now,
okay.
I feel Dr. Dre's a legend. I feel Ice Cube's a legend. I feel Game's a legend. I feel Jay-Z's a legend. Now, when we talking music, I'm eliminating...
I feel Crooked Eyes a legend.
No, wait, hold on. I'm eliminating, if I like these people's music.
And this is your criteria, by the way.
I'm
Everybody has
eliminating if I
their own
like
opinion.
these people's music, right? I don't listen to Eminem, but I feel Eminem's a legend, right? So it's not about if I like the song or like their albums, right? I'm looking at their body of work, right? Is it one album? Is it 15 albums?
Right.
Is it no number ones? Is it 10 number ones? Have you been touring for the last 10, 15, 20 years? Have you had several radio hits? This is not right. So I'm saying all these people I named, we call them legends, do we not?
Yeah,
so if we calling these people legends that have this body of work, we're talking music. We ain't talking who you are as a person to your family. None of that shit. That ain't my business. Music. Okay, enough. Do we call an individual that had one album out in 7 years? We ain't talking mixtapes. Right? Wasn't gold, wasn't platinum, no real tours. Not that it wasn't gonna happen, it just hadn't happened.
Right.
Do we call that individual a legend?
It's a game. You said
no,
earlier.
No. This me and you talking.
No, I'm talking a game now.
No.
This not me. That's more of a game. It's not me.
I wouldn't call Kid and Play a legend because they even got old. It's a lot of niggas that done got old. I don't call a G because they ain't did no G shit. They just didn't fuck around and got old. They still smoking. They still alcoholics. They ain't getting no money. They ain't doing nothing in the streets, right? But I don't call you an OG because you done got 55 years old doing that shit.
You're a little hardcore about this, man.
He's hardcore.
No, it's the truth.
You're pretty hardcore about
So
this.
you saying if a motherfucker get of age, no matter what he did or didn't do, he just get that status? So what about the motherfuckers that don't
be
do
clear,
that?
If they made of
you
age,
ain't gonna say that about
but
everybody.
hold on.
Okay.
If they made of age, but they contributed something to the culture, I feel like
Contributed what?
Kid and Play. We talking about what they did for the culture.
So you putting them on the same level as a
Not the same level.
Okay.
Not the
So
same
let's
level.
just say,
Okay.
it's
Like you said,
it's levels to legends.
Let me
Levels to
let me
legends.
just ask you
There we go.
straight up. Let me just ask you straight
You're
up.
right. You're right.
If Tupac was here,
Tupac died a legend. Biggie
he
did.
died a legend.
And Tupac was a young kid. We don't even know what he would have done.
His body of work, movies, fucking
No, you're right,
double
you're right.
CDs, albums that went quadruple. Biggie was dead before his first album came out. He became
No,
that.
second album. Second
Second
album.
album. He became that
Yeah.
over the years. Motherfuckers remaking songs, he became that.
So you saying Nipsey became that too?
No, I'm saying he will become that.
No, Nipsey became.
No, bro, it still hasn't happened. Movies gotta happen, shit gotta happen.
Nah,
He's
Nipsey
only been going, what, 2 years?
All right, so what's your definition of a legend? Because this is
We talking music.
okay,
Now,
music.
And we
talking
just
about-
going straight to music.
Yeah, I'm
That's
talking
different.
music,
Okay.
that's it.
All right, so give us your definition before we give you us.
I didn't get you like 4 or 5.
Hey, I got a quick question.
Yeah.
You know, for everybody, even WACK. Do we know how long Jesus was giving niggas the gospel before Judas ran him into the Romans and they
shit,
killed
bro.
him?
That's a loaded
Do we
question.
know that?
It's not 33 years.
Yeah,
right?
no.
No, I'm asking you. Was it long or was Jesus like
It
preaching?
felt like it was a
shit?
2-week shit.
Wait, I don't think- no, wait, what's the question again?
How long was Jesus giving niggas the game before the Romans
He
did
got
what they
got.
did? That's what I'm asking because for WACK, it might be a history lesson in that for all of us. Because Nipsey and Biggie together. You know, Nip put his album out and then perished, you know what I'm saying? And had met an untimely demise and was great, right? But he was great to the people who knew he was great, but not to the
wasn't
world
great,
because niggas didn't service his music while he was here like that. Same with Biggie.
Right.
Biggie died before fucking Life After Death came out.
The second album, right.
Second album. He was here for the first.
Right.
So, you know, on the same accord, does anyone know how long Jesus was Jesus on his first album or his second album?
Now, Jesus was definitely on his
Good
first
question.
album.
Was he? Because I
He
think
was in his
that,
30s, right? When he died.
So how long?
was
Does
he when he started his run?
anybody know?
Biggie and Pac was in their 20s.
Let me say this.
Right?
Does anybody know how old Jesus was when he was a carpenter? And then from the time he put his first album out, which was the gospel.
No, we don't.
We need to find that
Well,
out.
he didn't
because-
put out the gospel. The apostles did.
All right, well, them niggas, they get their shit too. You know what I'm saying?
He goes from it.
So them
and
niggas
they
is
wrote
like,
it.
them niggas, the apostles, them niggas like Idi Amin and Gaddafi and them niggas. You know what I'm
The
saying?
outlaws?
Like,
The outlaws?
No, they're outlaws. But what I'm saying is that I think everyone's answer is within the confines of Jesus's mission. Because we should. Because if Jesus was only doing it for a year and then nigga got the work, look what Jesus is now. Like, we got Jesus pieces and all kind of shit. So do we say that because Jesus wasn't preaching his whole life and he spent some time as a carpenter that he's not Jesus? No, you know better. Your grandma slapped the taste out your fucking mouth.
God damn it. Yes,
So
she
I'm
would.
saying we need to figure that out and then let that be the ledger for what legend is. And I don't want to talk about it until niggas tell me that. I don't know if it's T.D. Jakes. I don't know if it's Joel Osteen. I don't know if it's Elijah Muhammad, but we need to have a conversation about that, and then we can gauge like who a legend is, who is not. Because we can do the barbershop argument shit all day.
Yeah, because
Which is what we do here.
Because WACK, to tell you the truth, WACK, what you're saying is accurate to your opinion.
It's valid. It's valid.
It's
It's a
valid to your
motherfucker, yeah.
opinion, right? But I'm asking. This is what I'm asking. As a person that's a neutral person, doesn't it hurt the West when you say things like that? Like, yo, I don't
The
think.
truth can never be considered disrespect. And you got to remember, me and Nipsey was friends, bro.
Right.
What are you talking about? Like, we helped that man's career. Like, wasn't no fucking beef with me and Nip.
Right.
Like, you just asked
So
me
then
a
why
question.
even say something like that?
Ask me a question.
That's
Say,
my
like, what?
point.
Okay.
I tell them all the time.
So when you say silence is golden.
Listen,
I ain't saying in every situation.
But in a lot of situations.
This is why he's trying to get you to listen while I'm talking. 'Cause I told you, he
got his